the next thing we're gonna do is, and I know now it's gonna be a bit tricky, but you'll have to bear with me. I'm gonna take the controller a bit down. So we got the two different arms, and we're gonna make this joint follow this, the main joint follow the FK joint and the IK joint, but we're gonna make it in a way so you can switch between them. And the way we're gonna do that is you select all the joints that we need, and then you go to the hypershade. My computer is a bit slow, and now the fun stuff is beginning. You're gonna press this button, and this opens up all the things that you have selected. To begin with, we would like to work with this joint, and this joint is is here, and we like to work with this joint. So these two joints should control this joint. And for that, as I said earlier, we're gonna need color blend. So yeah, this is already the node we need. So I'm just gonna press the color blend, and I'm gonna have it here. So the first thing you want to do is middle mouse drag the joint into the color blend node, and you're gonna select other. So we want the rotation of the joint to go into the color blend. I know this is, so I select the rotation X. This is the joint, and this is the color blend. So I select the rotation X into color 1R, rotation Y into color 1G, and the C into color 1B. This is for the first joint. And then I'm gonna select the other joint, middle mouse drag it to the color blend, select the other, and I'm gonna do the same thing, but this time I'm gonna select rotation X, and then I'm gonna go to color 2, and then it's basically the same. I know this is I think it will not really make sense, but it will in the end, so just bear with me. I'm gonna close this down, and then I'm gonna select the color blend node we made, middle mouse drag it over to the joint that we want to control, and I'm gonna select other, and then we're gonna select the output and go down to rotation. So output R is gonna go to rotate X, output G is gonna go to Y, and so on. So you can see something happened with the joint, and right now the color blend got an attribute called blender, and this means it blends between those two. So you can see if you scale with that attribute, it scales between them, and you can see this is what we want in the end, and it's already working with the first joint. That was pretty easy, right? So the next step is just to make it for the other joints, and I'm gonna set this to 0.5, and then I'm basically just gonna do it for the other joints. You know, it can be complicated when you look in the outliner, but when you first get started, it's really simple, and you may think, oh, I'm never gonna do this, it's too complicated. But it's actually pretty simple. It's not that hard. It looks a bit hard, but when you get started, it's really easy. So I'm selecting the first joint. Repetition is the mother of success, so I'm just gonna tell you again how to do it. Middle mouse the first joint into the color blend, and go down to rotation, select rotation X into color 1, color 1R, and so on. And then I'm gonna select the other joint, go to other, rotation X, color 2. Yes, and there we go. And then I'm gonna select the color blend into the joint. And I want the rotation. There it is. And this should do it. So let's see if it works. And you can see it doesn't change that much, but it's because it's only this middle joint we are switching between. So let's keep this as 1.5 for now. And then we want the last joint. The last joint is important because we want to be able to rotate the arm with both controllers. Alright. And this is the way to do it. I can see we missed something. So this is basically because we didn't you can see this is how can I say it, this still has, this is not rotated, but we want to be able to rotate it in order to control the hand, right? So we will actually have to do something before we can make the last joint. This means I'm gonna select, if I can, the joint, and no, actually I'm gonna zero this out first. It's so annoying with that bug. So there we go. And then I'm gonna select the joint, and oh sorry, I have to select the controller first, and then I'm gonna select the joint, and then I'm gonna go to constrain, orient, and let's see if it follows. Looks like it does. Yes, it does. But it has some weird rotation on it. Okay. Let's see if it works. Yes. So we're gonna select this joint. Is it in here anyway? No, it's not. I'm gonna select this one and this one, and then I'm gonna hit this button to show them. I'm gonna take them down, and I'm just gonna order them so we can see we're gonna do the same thing again with the color blend. Middle mouse drag the first joint over to the color blend, and then I'm gonna go to rotate X into color 1, and so on. The same for the lower one. And now I'm a bit worried that this is gonna, oops, that was the wrong one. I'm a bit worried that this is going to work because it had some weird rotation, the first one, or the what's it called, the IK. But let's see. So the color blend is set to 2.5. So if I rotate this, oh yeah, of course I have to middle mouse drag the blend to the main joint. So let's see if it works. Yeah, you can see it doesn't really work. It's because of the, it looks like it's the rotation order, but I'm not really sure. I'm gonna pause the video and then I'm gonna figure it out, and then I'm gonna show you. So I'll be back. Okay, so I found out what the mistake was, and I fixed it. So you can see if I rotate this, it follows, because I set the blend to follow. So if I change the blend to 0, it should follow this one, and it does. The problem was that we only had this joint, we didn't have the end joint, and when you don't have the end joint, the joint before that doesn't have an orientation, so it will change the orientation if you delete the end joint. And that is a problem, because if these joints doesn't have the same orientation, it will mess up how the rotation is going to be when we rotate our controllers. So I made a quick fix, and fortunately I did save it before I made the fix. So I'm gonna save this one, and then I'm gonna show you guys how I did fix it, and you can do the same thing. It's a quick fix, but let me say that I'm really sorry that I did fuck it up. I really hope that you can bear with me. So okay, this is the fix, or is it the one? No, let me check again. Maybe it's... Okay, yes. So you can see in this one, the rotation is messed up. If I rotate this one, it rotates completely different, but it's because I don't got the hand joint on this one. So the quick fix is that we're going to delete this joint on both of the joint chains, and then we're gonna duplicate this again and parent the stuff we duplicated to the joint chains again, so we will get the last joint. But first we're gonna break the connections. Oops. We're gonna break the connections like that, and we're gonna zero it out. We're gonna freeze the transformations, and oops, yes, and then I'm gonna rotate this down. So I know it might get a bit complicated now, but I will explain it slowly. So I press F to focus on what I want to see, and then I'm gonna open the FK joint chain we got, and I'm gonna go all the way down to the arm end, and this is our joint. I'm gonna be confident enough to delete it, and then I'm gonna go to the FK. I'm gonna do the same thing, go to the arm end, and I'm gonna delete this as well. And then I'm selecting this, and this is the arm base. You can see we got it here. I'm gonna duplicate it 2 times, and the first one I'm gonna call FK, and the second one I'm gonna call IK. I'm gonna open it up, and you can see we got the hand and we got all the fingers. So I'm gonna select all the fingers in each one, and I'm gonna delete them. So now we only have the arm end, and we got the hand. So I'm quickly gonna rename the hand as well. The first one to the FK, the second one to the IK. So now we got the last joint chains, and to get these parental to the joint chains we got, I'm gonna middle mouse drag it down to the transform node we have from before, and make sure you drag it down to the FK arm. I'm gonna do the same thing for the IK, but this time on the IK arm. And if I rotate this now, yes, you can see we got the whole joint chain now, and it should still work with the other. Yeah, and it does. So phew, okay, that was the first step. The next step is to make it actually rotate with. So I'm gonna select the controller, and then I'm gonna select the joint because we want this joint to follow the controller. And we're gonna go to constraint orient, and it gets the orient. You can see it's all zeroed out here, and this is what we want. So there's no values. I'm gonna select the controller here, and then I'm gonna select the joint, and then I'm gonna orient, and you can see still no rotation and no rotation on this, so it should be good. Now I'm gonna select this joint, and this joint, and I'm gonna go to the hypershade. I'm gonna press this little icon to open up the items, and I really hope that this is going to work. But let me say I just tested it out and you saw it working, so it should work. Otherwise I will look like a total jerk or idiot. So anyway, we're gonna middle mouse drag this to the color, the first IK to the color node, and we're gonna go down to rotation, select rotate X into the color 1, and then I'm gonna select FK into the color, rotate X, so this is basically the same. So yes, and then we need the output into the base joint. Output R into rotate X. Okay, let's see if it works. And it does. Amazing. That was really nice that it did work. So if I set this to 1, it should follow not this one but the other one, and you can see it follows. So if I set it to 0, it should follow the other one, and you can see it follows the other controller. So that was really nice. I was sweating a bit there, but it works. So now we actually got all the controllers we need, and we got the color blend nodes. We got a couple more things to do, but it's very easy. In this tutorial we're not gonna do the hand, but I'm still gonna make the hand controller, because the hand controller is going to have a IK-FK switch. So let us quickly go to, if you hold down space, you can go to the top view, and we're gonna go out to the hand. We're gonna go to create, CV curve tool, and we're gonna make kind of a silhouette of the hand. And this is gonna be it's gonna be controlling the FK-IK switch, but it's also going to have some custom attributes. The custom attributes is going to be a bit different, because I like to have that this. Let me go to that when we're gonna do the hand. For now we're just gonna focus on how to make the FK-IK switch. So I'm gonna center the pivot in edit, center pivot. I'm gonna move it a bit up so you can see it fits. This one is not gonna have any translation, we're not gonna move it around, so I'm just gonna make it fit, kinda. You can also scale it and stuff if you want it to fit a bit more nicely. I think this is good enough for me. Yes. And then I'm gonna freeze the transformations, all of them. This controller is going to follow these controllers. It's gonna have a color blend like the other ones, and I'm just gonna give it a name, L hand ATT for attributes, ATT for attributes, and this is gonna be the hand controller. So if you go to edit, you can press add attribute, and the first thing I like to do is to make it displayable, displayable attributes, and I'm gonna make 2 underscores, I think it's called, and I'm gonna call this IKFK switch, and 3 underscores again. I'm gonna press nice name because then it's gonna make this, and it should be default should be to 0. Let's try to add, and you can see you get this one. And then I'm gonna make a IKFK, and I'm gonna make a keyable, and it should be default should be 0, maximum should be 1, and minimum should be 0. Let's press. Okay, it says it has some. So, okay, it made an error. I think it's because it has the slash in it. So I just made override nice name and made underscore instead. And it still doesn't work. So let's make a space between them. And then add. And then it works. Okay. So we want this controller to be connected to the FK-IK blend. And we also want the visibility of these to be controlled by the FK-IK blend or switch. So the thing we're gonna do is we're gonna select all these, and I think we can go to select. Oh, sorry, edit. Select hierarchy, and then go to the hypershade. I'm gonna select this one, and then I'm gonna press the button to show all, and you can see, wow, we get a lot of stuff, but what we need is the color blend nodes. So I'm just gonna take those and get them down. I'm gonna take this controller and get it down, so we know what we need to look at. And then this is 0 and this is not 0, so I'm just gonna 0 it all out, and then I'm gonna middle mouse drag, take this controller, middle mouse drag it to the first color blend node, select the other, and if you scroll all the way down you have your IKFK, and you want your IKFK going into the blender. So it's gonna blend between the colors, and you're gonna do that with all the color nodes. So let's see how it works. Okay, I'm just gonna move them around a bit. So you can see it follows, but it doesn't really follow all the stuff. That's a bit weird. But I guess something is, yeah, okay. So as you can see, the middle, the first joint is reversed from the other ones. So if I rotate this one, it rotates the hand, and so the first joint should be reversed. And it's good that we're making this, because then we can check if everything is alright. But we can also make a quick adjustment. We don't have to change the color blend node actually. We can just make a reverse node, and you can see this is the joint we want to change, and it goes into this color blend node. So it should work, I think, if we take a reverse node. Let's try it, and we're gonna make this, we're gonna select the controller, middle mouse, drag it down to the reverse node, we're gonna take the FK and we're gonna output it into X. We're gonna take the reverse node and middle mouse drag it over to Blender. Output X into Blender. And then it should actually work. So if I now change the attribute, it should follow the alarm. You can see it makes a weird rotation or switch between them, and this is because of the gimbal rotation. You will take a look at that later on, but the important thing to note is that it's working now. So you can see it's switching between them, and this is what we want, so it's working and it's nice. So the next thing we want is this controller to control the visibility as well, and that's pretty easy to do. So we're gonna select this one. We already got it selected, and we already have a reverse node. So now it's following the FK. So visibility should be on for this one, and 0 is off, 1 is on. So the reverse node should go into, as far as I remember, into these controllers. So I'm just gonna select all the controllers and press the button to see them. I'm gonna take them a bit out, and this is that. Okay, we also need this one. So the output of X should go into the visibility of output X should go into the visibility of these controllers. So I just need to find it. There it is. Actually, I could have done it just to the first controller, but anyway, I'm gonna do it this way. Yes. So what happens if I? Yeah, and then it disappears. And then you want the output of this controller to go into the visibility of this one. So I'm just gonna show them. And this is the IK, and then yes, you select the hand controller, middle mouse, drag it down to the IK, and you select our newly made IKFK, and you go to visibility. So you can see now it's hidden, and you can switch between them. It's pretty cool, right? So that was basically it for making the controller. We still need to adjust the colors. So let's quickly do that. We want them the same color as the left. There's still some small stuff we need to do, but the overall thing is done. I'm gonna select the shoulder, go to the shoulder L controller, and I'm gonna go to display overrides, enable, and I think I need to find the blue, and there it is, and it will override everything that is parental to the controller. I'm gonna override it, this one as well, and then I'm gonna switch to the IK, and in this one I'm gonna override as well. So this is a bit fast, but I don't want the tutorial to be too long. The next thing is we want this controller to follow the hand. So we're gonna select the hand, and then we're gonna select the controller, and then we're gonna go to a point constraint, point constraint option box. We want to maintain offset and apply. And still with this selected, we're gonna go to constraint, orient constraint, and also orient. So let's see if we move this around. Yes, and you can see it follows. It follows the hand, and that is what we want. So then we can lock and hide all these. If you go to if you select them and right click, you can lock and hide. So you basically only got these, but you will still have these outputs and stuff, but it doesn't really matter that much. And then you can switch between them. That's pretty nice, I think. And of course you won't see the joints in the final rig. Yeah, and a last thing we need to do is we want this controller to be parented under the main controller here. So let's try. It seems to work. So a thing we can do with the IK is that sometimes you want to parent your hand to the hips, or you want to parent it to the head, or you want it to be parented in space. So normally you will have it parented to the shoulders. So to make that, it's a bit complicated, and I don't think I'm gonna go through it. If you want me to show it, please let me know. But for now, I'm just gonna parent it to the top spine. Oops, but I think I should actually I shouldn't parent this, I should parent the orientation. So I'm just gonna press up, and then I'm gonna parent. So if you select it, you can see it all zeroed out, and it still rotates the hand and stuff. So it looks a bit like it gets offset or something. Okay. Yeah, we got a small issue because this doesn't have the same pivot as the hand, and obviously it should have. So if you press insert and hold V, now it's too late, of course. Okay, so we have to we have to make a small adjustment, and we can also make, now we're at it, we should also make it a bit more clean out here, I think, at least. So this is the last thing we're gonna do, and then we're gonna call it finished. Alright, so if I go to the outliner, my brain is also a bit jammed. It's really, yeah, I don't know, it's weird. So if you go to the outliner, open the hand, you can see these point and orient. I'm gonna delete those, so now it won't follow at all. And you don't got your attributes, so in order to get them back, we're gonna go to channel control, which opened up this, and we're gonna find translate, and we also need the scale. Oops. I'm gonna find translate. By holding control, you can select more than one, and we also need scale and rotation. And then I'm gonna move them back, which shows them over here. And then I'm gonna unlock selected, and then we're gonna press insert. Oops, we're gonna press the move tool by pressing W, and then we're gonna press insert on the keyboard, hold down V, and snap it to the joint of the hand. Then we're gonna press insert again, and the last thing is we want to make an orient constraint out of it, so I'm just going to duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D. It's the same routine as before. I'm going to delete the shape. I'm going to take the hand, get it down, and then I'm going to select the orient of this. I'm going to select the hand, and then I'm going to select the orient out in the outliner. I'm going to go to constrain, point, orient. Let's see if it works. Yeah, now it works much better. It doesn't get the same offset. This is totally what we want. Nice and clean. The last thing, yeah, I know I said the last thing was the other thing, but let's just clean up this outliner, because it gets a bit messy and it's not really ideal. So the arm pole, you want it to be followed by the last thing in the spine as well. So I'm just gonna parent it to that. This one is gonna be, it's the IK handle, so I'm gonna call it IK handle. Oops, I'm gonna make a L before arm and IK handle, and I'm gonna put it up in the IK handle group, and this hand controller is gonna be in the main control. So if I move, okay, this is a bit weird. Okay, that was the arm, but now I can see we got another mistake. Then if I try to move the whole object, this controller doesn't follow. And let's see why that is. It's because it got a point constraint to this joint, and this is only a rotation. What about this joint? It only has the rotation. Okay, so it's because when we made the spine, this joint should also have the point. It should also be a point constrained to this controller. So we're gonna select the controller really fast. It's a minor fix, and then we're gonna select the joint, and we're gonna go to constraint, point constraint. Let's see if it works. Yes, and then it moves the whole rig, and this is what we want. So that wraps up this tutorial. Thank you for watching my tutorial. If you want more exciting tutorials about CG, you can go to www.poly-face.com. On the site you will find different tutorials. You can go to the tutorial section, where I got a whole list of all the tutorials. If you have been watching one of my tutorials, I would really appreciate if you on the site shared the content with others or wrote a comment. It means a lot to me, because then I can see that people actually liked it. If you got any feedback, you can write a comment, or you can write me an email. The email is gonna pop on the screen. And one last thing, I would really appreciate it if you go to my YouTube channel. On the channel you can subscribe. My channel is on Danish, but if you subscribe you will see the new videos when they come out. And it's really a big help to me. And that's all. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time for a new tutorial. Have fun, bye!